Oh shit, here we go again.
Of April 2022, CCTV records prison supervisor Vicky enter through a back door. Half a minute later, she comes back out with a prisoner, Casey White.
Nigga lie already, gay. She not transporting this nigga the right way at all, bro. Like, what the fuck? This is like a backdoor setup, gang. She trying to get this nigga out of jail. She opened the door, just let him walk out. Nigga, last time I checked, I thought they was supposed to walk behind you, make sure you... Like, what, bro?
6'9" giant of a criminal serving 75 years for attempted murder. They quickly leave in the car as police scramble to make sense of the situation. Vicky, a prison supervisor with a 2-decade-long career and perfect record, just disappeared with a dangerous criminal. Police assumed that she was forced or manipulated into helping him escape. But that's when new evidence came to light, showing that she might have planned the entire thing.
I know it, gay. I just said that shit off 44 seconds, my nigga. Like, her opening that fucking door, gang, and just let him walk out, like, that's already... No way in hell you don't. Like, what?
Back door. Half a minute
you
later...
You just open the door, and he walks behind you.
Back out with a prisoner.
And you don't even make, like... This is cap, bro. Like, that don't even look real. So, like... Yeah, that shit goofy, bro. That don't even look real.
Than anyone expected. Police would realize the rabbit hole went deeper than anyone expected, leading them down a dark path, ending with Vicky found dead with a bullet in her head.
Vicky, stay with her! Vicky!
God damn, wait.
It's April 29th, 2022, and prison officer Vicky has just told her work colleagues that she's taking a prisoner to a psychological evaluation at a local courthouse. But something isn't right, as she's transporting the prisoner alone, despite rules mandating prisoners must be escorted by 2 officers at a time. But because of her senior position as a supervisor, nobody stops her, and it would be 6 hours before police realize that Vicky and the prisoner are never coming back. Desperate for clues, police start looking into the man that Vicky escaped with. It was Casey White, a man serving 75 years in prison for domestic violence, home invasion, murder, and brutally attacking a man with an axe. But there was one crime that stood out to police even more. 7 years prior to this, Casey had abused and manipulated his then-girlfriend to a point where she tried to escape from Casey's vicious hands. After they successfully made it to her friend's house, Casey would break into the house with 2 guns and full intent to murder them both. Luckily, they both escaped and survived his vicious attack. But that's when Casey fled the scene and began a series of carjackings across several states, until finally getting into a tense standoff with multiple police officers.
Casey, put the gun down. Let me see your hands, man.
Put the gun down, Casey. Put the gun down, bud.
Casey, put the gun down.
I would have popped his ass.
Yeah,
I'm popping his ass. Fuck that shit.
Hey, Casey.
Yes, sir.
I will get you a sun drive if you'll be still. Just be calm.
You don't ain't got no more gun on you there,
No, you ain't got. You got to plug him out.
It's unusual, but the cops rolled a drink and a pack of cigarettes towards Casey, hoping this would calm him down and avoid a shootout. Miraculously, this actually worked, and the cops were able to move in and make an arrest. His interrogation gave cops an even clearer view into just how insane this man was.
I've been trying to wait just to kill her ever since. I couldn't wait no longer. I had to do it tonight.
Do you regret what you did tonight?
I regret I didn't kill him.
Police.
Like, niggas like this be crazy, gang. Like, this is why you gotta go through your life, like, just looking at people, stereotyping. Like, if a nigga look like a weirdo, bruh, trust your instinct, gang. That nigga's a weirdo. I ain't gonna lie.
I regret I didn't kill him.
Cause, like, there's no way, bro.
Had a
like,
clear picture of who Vicky just helped escape
you just see
prison.
this nigga and you will help him fix his car or help him fix a flat on the side of the highway at night. Like, you not doing that shit, this weird ass nigga, bro.
But how does Vicky fit into all of this? She works
like her. You see her on the side of the road at night. You probably help her fix a tire. But like, it ain't no like. It's just like.
a completely different
You just
prison,
can't-
and there's
I don't know,
no
bro.
plans
That
for
shit
Casey
weird,
to ever
gang.
see outside these walls again. Well, 1 year later, Casey confessed to a murder, resulting in him being moved to a different prison. This kicked off a series of events that would eventually result in Vicky's death. The murder that Casey confessed to was a 4-year-old cold case. It's unclear why Casey owned up to it now, but he was able to give specific details that nobody but the killer could have known. And after a short trial, he was quickly transported to a new prison, the same one where Vicky worked. Vicky is
You
50.
look like the feds, bitch. That's that.
To a
That's
new
the
prison,
FBI,
the
look
same
like.
one where Vicky worked.
Niggas really
Vicky
just-
is 56 and has been divorced for several years and put her heart and soul into her job. She was a model
I'll be
employee
back, man. I
and
still can hear
popular
though.
among her colleagues, but her life had become boring and lonely. She wanted to change. And when Casey showed up, that's exactly what she got. They slowly began to talk more and developed a connection. They bonded over their shared last name and began to think that they were destined to be together. She started coming in on her days off and was noticeably happier. Despite having a great life on paper, Vicky had become enchanted by her feelings for Casey and was ready to throw it all away to be with a dangerous criminal. But how can this happen? Well, it turns out it's not as rare as you might think. Some people are attracted to dangerous people. They know they could kill them at any moment, but feel special knowing that they choose not to.
Yeah, I just heard everything. But is this nigga right here? Wait, I heard everything, Gabe, but like, nah, it can't be that nigga, bro. But she be going in her off days to see it, like, bro. This
They
is
know
weird.
they could kill them at any moment,
I knew from the start it was a backdoor setup game. That shit look weird, bro.
but feel special knowing that they choose not to. On top of that, Vicky had started to feel trapped in her day-to-day life and as though she had nothing to live for. If she could make a break with Casey, it'd at least be exciting, even if it did mean throwing everything away. While Casey was serving at Lauderdale, Vicky allowed him unrestricted access to parts of jail that prisoners aren't normally allowed to see, including areas that aren't covered by security cameras. Many speculate this is where the pair were intimate with each other and formed their plan to escape. Even at this point, Vicky still had no idea that this would turn out to be the worst mistake of her entire life. 3 days before their escape, they decided to do a test run after Vicky told her colleagues that Casey had an appointment with a judge at the courthouse. Of course, there was no appointment, and they just sat in her patrol car for 9 minutes before returning. But now they know this works, and they're ready to make preparations for the real thing. 2 days before their escape, they're spotted on camera passing notes. It's thought that this was them discussing the final part of their escape plan, but by the time this footage was discovered, it was already too late. By April 29th, 2022, everything
Bro,
wasn't...
this is fucking crazy, gang. Like, you know how many times shit like this happen? This is Florida. But, like, inmates and COs dating and have kids and all this shit, like, that shit happens every day, gang.
place, and they're ready to make their escape. As Vicky holds a senior post...
Like, this shit like grown-up school for real. Like, school... I don't know, bro.
of prison, she has certain
That's-
powers that she's about to take advantage of. She arranges to send 12 inmates and 5 deputies to court on the day of the escape, leaving her as the last remaining officer in the prison with transport privileges. She then tells her bosses that Casey has to be taken for a mental health evaluation. Looking at the surveillance footage, it's clear something was up.
That's what I'm saying. Like, off the rip, that shit looked fishy,
Has her
gang.
firearm with her, something that is strictly forbidden inside the prison walls. She's also walking in front of Casey instead of behind him,
Oh,
showing
no.
she trusts
Walking
him
in
not to
front of
harm
his
her.
eyes, he's
By
not
helping
supposed to be.
Casey to escape, esteemed prison officer Vicky has thrown everything she had away, and in one pivotal moment has become a criminal.
Vicky's always been a good girl I went to school with. It's got to be other people involved, and Vicky's just a scapegoat.
You knew her, you loved her.
I feel like if she had anything to do with it, it was definitely love.
Vicky and Casey casually walk out of the prison into a patrol car and drive away to
How dumb do you sound, bro? Like, you a fucking CO. You been a CO for 20 fucking years, and and you find love in jail?
Freedom.
Come on, bro.
It took 6 hours before anyone noticed they're missing. When the prison calls the courthouse to see what's taking so long, they're told that there is no appointment, and they come to the horrible realization that Casey has made a break for freedom. To evade the authorities, they quickly ditch the patrol car and flee the state, and the cops now have no clue where they are, where they're going, or how to find them, marking the start of an 11-day manhunt that will span the nation. On day 1 of Vicky and Casey's escape, the cops try to find clues at Vicky's home, but she's nowhere to be seen. In fact, she doesn't even own the house anymore. As part of her plan, she sold her house for extremely cheap. With the money, she bought vehicles, guns, and most suspiciously, men's clothing. This is the first indication the cops have that Vicky doesn't intend on coming back and is ready to start a new life with Casey. Things don't get any better for detectives when the patrol vehicle they used to escape is found abandoned at a local shopping mall. And even worse, there's no surveillance footage covering that area of the parking lot, so they don't even know
they can't see the new car.
which direction they went. But on day 2 of the manhunt, a tip-off from her family blows this case wide open, as it's revealed Vicky has been renting a storage unit. Police are able to locate the storage unit and discover that she was renting it with a burner phone. But despite their best effort to track this new number, the cops came up with nothing. But the existence of this new phone is the first solid evidence that cops have showing Vicky planned this all along and was actually a willing participant instead of a hostage.
You get the sense they were actually Vicky discovered he was not forcing her in any way.
Right. No, he was not forcing her. It was a mutual relationship.
You'd think that this would help the investigation, but things only get more insane and confusing from here on out. After
They just threw away her job, her money, her house, her cars, probably her dogs, cats, all that shit just to run away with some weird ass inmate that's about gonna kill you, that did kill you actually. And then, like, what?
After realizing that they're essentially back to square one, the cops return to the shopping mall where they found the abandoned patrol car and decide to comb through all of the surveillance footage from the days leading up to the event. That's when they spot Vicky a few days before the escape, parking a car in a nearby parking lot. And this isn't her usual car either. It's one she bought only a couple days earlier, a 2007 Ford Edge that the cops quickly realized had to be their getaway vehicle. But when police went back to the parking lot and the supposed getaway vehicle was still there, they realized that Vicky had left a decoy. Police had just lost their
But her ass smart as fuck. Like, she bought a car just to leave it there because she knew that they was going to...
only clue, while giving Vicky and Casey a 5-day head start. But since they abandoned the Ford, the cops assumed that they have to have found another vehicle in the area, and lo and behold, they quickly picked up another lead. A homeowner nearby told them he sold his Ford F-150 pickup truck to a man who approached his house on the day Vicky and Casey went missing. That man is described as being around 6 feet 9 inches tall and looked exactly like the picture he was shown. Now all they have to do is find that Ford F-150 and bring this manhunt to an end. And thanks to another lead, they're closing in. On day 6, the owner of a car wash in Indiana noticed something strange. A Ford F-150 had been parked in one of the cleaning bays for an unusual amount of time, and he suspects this vehicle has been abandoned. Unfortunately, this is before a search was initiated for the truck, but something's still not right. This pickup truck is far too nice to have been dumped by anyone sane, and the owner...
But both of them cars was in good condition, brand new. Like, they had all this shit planned out,
owner quickly grew suspicious. In order to find out, he checks out the car wash surveillance footage, and what he finds will help the cops finally capture their 2 fugitives. That's Casey getting out of the pickup, and he's acting very strangely. He's waiting for Vicky, and she's in that car driving just out of shot. When Casey gets in the new vehicle, leaving their pickup and driving off, the owner knows they're up to no good and calls 911.
There's the truck been sitting in my bay since yesterday at 3 o'clock. I looked at my cameras and the guy's kind of suspicious. It's a Ford F-150 four-door truck. It's blue in color. It's got Tennessee license plates on it.
I'm saying though, gay, y'all couldn't at least leave it in a Walmart parking lot or something. Y'all gonna leave it at the car wash? Like, nigga, after 2 hours, they own that shit anyway. Like, you not supposed to be in no car wash more than 30 minutes to an hour. I ain't gonna lie.
And I've got him on camera.
The next day, cops arrive at the car wash and initiate a search of the truck.
Is it returns to a Dodge? Yep. Yeah, that's fine.
That whole look
With
brand
nothing to go
new,
off of,
like,
the cops quickly leave the scene
brand
and the
new.
pickup is towed away. It takes 4 days for this vital lead to get back to detectives, but when it does, they drop everything and head straight to Evansville on day 10 of the hunt. They're due to arrive at the car wash at 9 a.m., but fail to show up on time, frustrating the car wash owner so much that he takes matters into his own hands and calls the local press.
So then, 9:30, they're not here. So I get on the phone to Fox News. I said, y'all want a story? Yeah, we like a story. I said, I got one. So I got a convict over at my car.
That a fucking alligator in the back? Wait.
Story? Yeah, we like a story.
What the fuck is that?
So I got a convict.
Bro, that look like 2 fucking alligators, gang. Bro, 1,
I said, y'all
2.
want a story? Yeah, we like a story. So
Bro, what is this?
So I got a convict over at my car wash. I got him on camera. He said, you talking about the one in Kentucky? I said, no, I'm talking about the one in Alabama.
Oh, these geese. These ain't no... I thought these was fucking alligators, gang. These geese.
With the girl. Said,
I was about to say, what the fuck?
They showed up. They got there 10 minutes before the marshals.
U.S. Marshals arrive during the media frenzy, and when they take a look at the surveillance footage...
Wait, what happened? He said they got there 10 minutes before.
I said, okay, we'll be right there. They showed up. They got there 10 minutes before the marshals.
U.S. Marshals arrive during the media frenzy, and when they take a look at the surveillance footage, they realize they've found the car Vicky and Casey could still be driving, a Cadillac, and one that Vicky and Casey think is completely unknown to
It looked like all them cars was new, and they had all this shit planned out. Only thing they didn't plan out is this car. Now what you gonna do? They see it on camera. All the cars is on camera. So, like, y'all plans running out of fucking options.
It seems like their days on the run are numbered. But even with the leads they have, they come up with nothing. And the cops are starting to realize their fugitives could be anywhere in the country. But as it turns out, they're closer to home than anyone thinks. Back in Evansville on day 11, a cop is on his way home from a long shift when he sees a familiar-looking vehicle parked outside a Motel 41. It looks like the same Cadillac from the car wash, and he hastily takes down the license plate. The problem is, the license plate of the Cadillac seen at the car wash was never seen, so they have no way of knowing if it's the same vehicle. But they do have the license plate of the recovered F-150, so grasping at straws, they decide to run that through their license plate reader, and when they do, they strike gold. Several traffic cameras have picked up the F-150, and following it in nearly every shot is a Cadillac. A Cadillac whose license plate perfectly matched the one at Motel 41.
See, they had it, bro, but cops is like, they got too much. It's too much shit. Like, for you to fucking outrun the feds and the cops and shit, gang, like an ongoing investigation, you gotta be a smart ass nigga. You gotta be prepared. Like, you gotta be the professor, gang. Like, if you ever watch Money Heist, you gotta be the professor, bro. You gotta know the nigga next move, bro. Like, it's all about that next move, bro. Cause, like, yeah, they had them for the start, but like, them cameras, gay. I'm telling you, bro, that shit.
Finally, by sheer luck, the cops have found their fugitives. All they have to do now is bring them in. First, deputy marshals find strategic positions around the motel. They're all in plain clothes and unmarked vehicles, hoping to be as covert as possible. But while the cops surround them, Vicky and Casey are in room 150 watching the TV in horror right as the discovery of the Ford F-150 hits the news. The plan was to bring Vicky and Casey in quietly, but before they get a chance to put their plan into action, Vicky walks out of the hotel room and throws a bag into the Cadillac. She's followed by Casey, and even though they're in disguise, there's no mistaking Casey White's massive frame. Casey gets behind the wheel, and the Cadillac takes off. The cops' plan has been completely
damn, look at all these fucking cops behind them, gang.
It's behind the wheel, and the Cadillac takes off. The cops' plan has been completely foiled once again, but they've got a backup. They're going to follow them and try to box them in to avoid a confrontation. But before they get a chance, they realize they've been spotted. Casey turns onto US Highway 41 and hits the accelerator, taking the cops on a chase across traffic and through parking lots until he manages to make a break for freedom by driving straight through an open field. At around the same time, police dispatch receives a call from none other than Vicky herself, and it gives you an idea of how terrifying this chase really is.
God. Airbags are going on. Let's get out.
A police vehicle forces Casey to drive straight into a ditch, and this pursuit is brought to a sudden halt. But it's far from over, as cops know the pair are armed and could open fire at any point in some kind of Bonnie and Clyde inspired shootout.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Any crash down?
Because there are 5 a.m. flights in your area, there are drivers in your area.
Did you know that nearly half of US TV streaming time is on Roku? With Roku's new self-service ad tool, it's easy to set up your own.
That's the best woman in the world right there. Please, that's the best woman in the world. Vicky, I'm so sorry, baby. I'm so sorry, baby. Anybody in this world don't deserve it. She don't. When she's herself, it hit me. But y'all ain't gonna believe me. I'm gonna say I killed her. Just like y'all say I killed everybody else.
Finally, after 11 days, the manhunt has come to an end, and they've got Casey unharmed in handcuffs. But Vicky met a much more devastating end. Just 2 weeks ago, she was an upstanding member of society, an esteemed prison officer respected by those around her. Now, she's a fugitive, laying in a criminal's stolen car, conscious, but with devastating injuries.
David, she good?
She shot her now?
She still got it in her hand. Yes, good. Medic right here, medic.
They say she shot herself. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yes, still breathing. I gotta break this sucker up here. Can you go in? Well, I think we can reach in and get the gun. That'd probably be easier in the windshield. Oh, see if it'll open. Good idea. We got cover? Yeah. It's opening. It's opening. You got me? Yeah. You want to go for the gun first? All right, pull me out. All right, I got it.
She's been shot in the head, and Casey claims she took her own life. When cops get a better look, they find her finger is still on the trigger of the gun. Later that day, Vicky was pronounced dead in a nearby hospital.
She killed
We'll
herself,
never really know
man.
what the two had planned for their life together after their escape. Whether they wanted to go off the grid and settle down, or live the rest of their lives on the run. Well, it turns out, Casey never planned to keep Vicky around at all. He described her as a liability, and someone that didn't have the mind for this sort of thing. It's likely that she would have been ditched shortly after this point, or killed by Casey anyway, as he was found guilty of first-degree prison escape and sentenced to life behind bars. He'll be 98 years old before he gets a chance at parole, so this terror of a man will likely be off the streets.
I mean, he was already getting life, Gabe, but like, bro, what the fuck was y'all gonna do anyway? Like, what the fuck, bro? What was y'all finna go? I mean, she got credit and all shit, money, all type of shit. Y'all can do whatever, but Gabe, like, what the fuck is you finna do with this tall ass criminal that's fucking not wanted? Then y'all still in the same place, y'all still in the same state, staying at the same fucking hotel in the same 15 minutes radius. Gang, y'all is dumb.